Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I wanted to do a little makeup try on and wear test because the Sephora sale is coming up on Friday, and there's a foundation that I had wanted to do a foundation Friday on previously, but I didn't have the right shade, so now I'm kind of against the clock with the Sephora sale coming up, and I want to be able to either recommend it to you or not. And that is the Saie Glowy Super Skin Foundation, because the Saie Slip Tint, their tinted moisturizer with sunscreen, is one of my all-time favorite face products, and they've launched a new foundation. They sent me 2 shades in PR. They're both too light for me, and I tried them over my Holy Grail sunscreen, which is my undefined R&R sunscreen, and it did not work over that sunscreen. So today I'm wearing a different sunscreen and I want to try it. I've purchased it in 2 more shades. The shades they sent me were 6 and 7. I purchased 8 and 11, and we'll see if hopefully one of these will match my skin tone. And then in addition, I just have some other things that I had been wanting to try in advance of the Sephora sale, just to see if I could recommend them or not. One product that I was really curious about are the Giorgio Armani Eye Tint Longwear Luminous Liquid Eyeshadows. I've seen my friend Lisa J talk about these, and they look so beautiful. And you know, I'm always looking for like a really quick and easy eyeshadow thing, so I got a couple of those. I have some things from Rare Beauty that either are purchased or they sent in PR. It's kind of a mixed bag. I got the concealer, I've got their highlighter, so I thought we would just jump in and try on some new makeup today, do an all-day wear test on it. All right, hair is pulled back, you're in a little bit closer. I also picked up Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas. Remember when the silk canvas came out a couple years ago and everybody loved it except me. I didn't like it. So I saw that they had this one, and I just love, like, there's something just so beautiful and elegant and thoughtful about the Tatcha packaging, and I do love a Tatcha product. I don't use many of them because they just, you know, I haven't had the greatest luck with them, but I'm always hopeful that I will. So when I saw this, I thought, let me give it a try. So I'm only going to use it on half my face because, of course, I want to see how the foundation does on the other half without the primer. This has a lot of fragrance in it. Okay, so I'm going to just pop this on the fronts of my cheeks here where my pores are enlarged. I'm going to put it on the side of my nose and kind of right up here because that's where my makeup always wears off first and the fastest. And my makeup always wears off right up here pretty quickly. So I'm going to put some there and just rub that in. And I'm actually going to use an eyelid primer on this side but not on the other, since I'm using the Armani eyeshadows, and I'm hoping that they don't need a primer, but I do kind of want to see if they do. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the anti-aging version. I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on my lid. So it's going to be a really simple makeup look today. All right, so I was checking out the colors on these Saie foundations. I think I'm going to go with shade 11, which if you look at it in the bottle, it looks like it might be too dark and a little bit too tan for me, but this has the weirdest thing that I have to show you. So like, you squirt some out on the back of your hand. You can see that's the shade that it is. Watch what happens when I rub it. It just goes really weirdly pale. At first I thought it was going to be too dark. Then I put it on and I thought, oh no, it's going to be too light. So let's just go ahead. See, like when I first put it on, like, doesn't that look like it's going to be too light? I mean, this is shade 11. I have to look and see how many shades they actually have of this. I'll just stamp that on. Well, and then I'm going to use my BK101 brush to apply it with. Looking at it in the bottle, I was like, no, this is going to be way, way too dark. And look at it. It's going on like pretty pale, right? And look at the difference. Let me get closer so you can see. Look at the color difference between here when you just pump it and when you actually work it. It is very strange how these pigments change color. Giving people foundation that changes color as you apply it, usually not a great thing. Yeah, I think this looks really pale, like compared to my neck and chest, feeling definitely pale. And I thought 11 was a stretch for me. But I thought, you know, let me get a darker one in case I need to mix 2 together. Then I'll have 3 lighter ones and 1 darker one. And oh my goodness, this does not look good. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I better bring some down my neck, so at least I don't look 2 completely different colors. Wow, I am shocked that 11 is this light. Okay, so just looking up online to see how many shades there are and if I picked right. So shade 11 is for light to medium skin tones with peach undertones. It's a new shade. It looks like there are 36 shades in this, and it looks like a really nice inclusive shade range. The shades that they sent me were 6 and 7, which obviously way too light. I purchased 8 and 11, and 11 still is even too light for me. So I could have even gone for 13, which is medium skin tones with golden undertones, or even 14, medium with peach undertones. That's a new one as well. I just want to see if they say anything about the color shifting, or if any of the comments have anything about the color shifting. It says it's radiant finish, hydrating, medium coverage, liquid formula, clean at Sephora, cruelty-free. Okay, the reviews are kind of a mixed bag. People like it, people hate it. So it's, I don't know how it's going to be for me, but we shall see. No one said anything about the color shifting. I don't know if I'm the only person who noticed this, but maybe I should have just gotten a darker color. But it's weird that it comes out like a color that I think is too dark, and then it goes on a color that I think is too light. So I feel like in picking a shade, there could be a lot of trial and error with people. So anyway, while I was reading that, we had a couple minutes for this to like dry down. And so let me take a look at it and give you my first impressions on it. I gotta say, it is not love at first sight, and this is not first sight actually. This is my second use on it, and yeah, not truly loving how it looks, especially up close. I think from a distance it looks fine. It does have a nice glowy luminosity. I feel like it's less glowy than the Saie Slip Tint, and you know I'm not hugely into luminous things, but I love this, especially after I powder it down. It looks so natural, and it just makes my skin like come alive and look 10 years younger than it actually is, and it photographs so beautifully. I wore this all over Greece last summer, and every picture that I took in this, I was like, wow, my skin looks amazing. So that is an awesome product. This is not, like I was hoping that this would just be a less glowy, slightly more pigmented version of that. And, you know, I guess it is definitely slightly more pigmented. It is a little bit less glowy, but it's just not sitting on my skin looking beautiful. Anyway, let me show it to you up close and personal. So here's what it looks like. I mean, I can't say there's anything terrible about it. It's not like balling or pilling or sitting weird on my skin. Like it definitely sat weird and didn't combine right with my other sunscreen. It kind of separated. I can bring in a picture of it and show you. And also too pale, but you know, this doesn't look terrible. But anyway, so let's move on to concealer. The concealer I have is the Rare Beauty Positive Light Under Eye Brightener in light medium. Okay, oh wow, it doesn't have a brush. Look at this. It's got this little like metal kind of applicator. Ooh, I bet that's gonna be nice and cooling and feel nice under the eyes. I hope I'm not applying too much. Usually I would like brush this off in here, but hard to do with it being kind of a metal ball. So we'll just go ahead and just put a little bit at the inner corner. Oh, guess I need to dip in there again. It just picks up like a little bit right on the end, so maybe that's gonna give the right amount, or maybe I should just like dot it. I'm gonna use my BK x Angie A506 brush, and I am just going to use that to tap the concealer in under my eyes. Well, this is really pretty. It's a nice looking concealer. Very smooth, very luminous, so the luminosity kind of matches the foundation. And of course, you know, I'm gonna set it because I always set my under eye concealer, and I usually set my foundation. Here's what the concealer looks like. I think it's really pretty, really smooth. I hope it lasts the day. I'm looking at my pores side to side. I'm not really seeing any difference between the look of my pores on this side versus this side with the Tatcha primer. Let me go ahead and set that. I'm gonna use my NYX Mineral Matte Powder. That is my favorite setting powder. And I'm gonna set my pores. I'm just gonna put on some blush and a little bit of bronzer before we go in with the eyeshadow. I'm gonna use the Dior Backstage blush in Rosy Glow. Love this, so pretty. And I'm using my A507 brush, which is my blush brush. But I believe this one is currently out of stock. All my other brushes are in stock. For my bronzer, I'm gonna use the Saie Sun Melt Bronzer in light bronze. And where is that brush, that new brush that I like? I tidied my desk the other day and now I can't find anything. I hate when that happens. So I have this Sephora foundation brush I'm going to use with this. It goes on very subtle. So if you like to do a little bit of contouring, but you don't like the look of heavy bronzer, this is such a beautiful product because it goes on so soft and so subtly. Like you can barely even see that, but yet it's doing its job of doing subtle contouring. And if you want to get more, you can just go in with your finger, and you can get it to apply a little bit heavier if you like that. So there's a couple of different ways to work with it. Let's move on to the Armani Eye Tint Liquid Eyeshadows. I got them in 2 shades. I got a matte and a shimmer. The matte one's called Beige and the shimmer one is called Cold Copper. They come with like a little doe foot applicator. I'm just gonna go directly in with it. Oh, this is light enough that you could just put it all over your entire eye. I'm not sure I was hoping it would be a little darker to be more like a crease color. I think I'm just gonna use my finger and just tap it on. So far that's really pretty. It's kind of like my natural skin color, but it looks really nice. I'm gonna use my A502 to blend this side out just to see how it does with a brush. It's really nice, like it's creamy, but it doesn't dry too quickly. Like I had time to talk to you guys, look for the brush, and then go in and blend it. Ooh, this is so pretty. What a pretty color. I feel like I may be getting a little color off the brush on this side. Do those 2 sides look a little bit different? Yeah, this one's a little bit darker, a little bit more mauve-y. I think I ended up picking up some color off the brush on that side. So let me just go ahead and even those 2 up. It's very pretty. The concealer's creasing underneath my eye over here. Let me just show you that real quick. Right here, can you see those tiny little extra white creases there? I just take a Q-tip and wipe the concealer out. I think I am going to add a little powder eyeshadow just right in the crease, and I have this Give by Gwen Stefani Icy in Color palette in Danger Zone. This is a nice little palette. It's got 3 mattes and 1 darker kind of shimmer color, but I was thinking this matte would be good, so I'm just going to take it on my A502 brush, pick up a little bit on the tip of the brush. I'm just going to put a little bit just to kind of define my crease a little bit more. Well, this is blending really nicely into this cream eyeshadow. They look really, really nice together. And then the shimmer color Cold Copper. I think I'm just going to apply this to the movable part of my lid. And on this side, I think I'll just try to apply it with my finger, just, see if that goes on any better. Nothing wrong with the other side. Thought it went on well. Just wanted to see how it does with the finger instead. Just to compare. That is such a pretty color. Oh my gosh, beautiful. All right, for my eyeliner, I'm going to use the Sephora 12-Hour Colorful Liner in Fresh Mint on my lower lashes. And on my uppers, I'm going to use the Sephora Retractable Liner in Matte Charcoal. For the mascara, I have a little sample of the Rare Beauty Mascara. I don't think I've tried this one before. This is definitely adding volume and length. I also have a little mini sample of the Anastasia mascara, so let's try that on the other eye. I don't love the brush. It's really fat at the end. I feel like it doesn't really rake through the lashes. This one just doesn't give the same length and volume as this one. This is I think a better looking mascara. For the lippy, I'm going to use the Fenty Pro Kisser Luscious Lip Balm in Pinch Me. Gives a nice amount of color and it feels nice and hydrating. For the brows, I'm going to use the Huda Balm Brows Full and Fluffy. This is like a lash mascara with fibers in it. That is the makeup look for today. I think we should take a good look at it up close. I am not happy with the foundation already, so this just might end up being not a fave. I mean, I love the Saie Slip Tint, but that doesn't mean that everything they make is going to be a knock it out of the park holy grail. The shine has really returned. I feel like super shiny all down my T-zone, where usually the NYX powder will keep things nice and mattified for the better part of the day, like 6 to 7 hours with other foundations, and it's really settled into my wrinkles already. Over here is where it's really settling into wrinkles the worst. Like everything, most things will settle a little bit into this little smile line over here. And it is, but then I have this other shallow wrinkle down here and it's way settled in there. I think the concealer looks okay, but it's also looking more luminous and getting into wrinkles a little bit. This foundation is also really settled into my forehead wrinkles. So that is what it looks like. This doesn't quite feel dry and set. This definitely still feels a little bit sticky. And yeah, just touching it a little bit there. It definitely has come off on my fingers. I mean, it's been on there a while while I messed around with the rest of this makeup. But so far, really loving the Armani eyeshadows. They feel like dry and set, like they're not going anywhere. I mean, I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's awful. I'm going to lunch. It's fine. I think I'll look okay. I'll ask my friends what they think of it. All right, so I'll see you back here in 5 hours. Hey, I'm back early. It's only been 2.5 hours. I went to lunch, had the most delicious dumplings. Oh my gosh, this dumpling place is incredible. Asked my friend what she thought of the makeup. She said it looked shiny. Anyway, this mascara, it's already giving me the old raccoon circle, and it's so flaked under here. So this eye was this little Anastasia, and the concealer is all settled in all my wrinkles, including my crow's feet. I never really get settling in my crow's feet, and this is a big settler. You can see that that is completely smudged under there. No, it is not the eyeliner. It's definitely the mascara, because see how flaky it is and how smudgy? Under this eye, no smudgy. A few flakes, but no smudges, so that's definitely a mascara, because as you recall, I use the Rare Beauty mascara over here and the Anastasia over here. And then over here, I don't know if you can see where it's settled in my crow's feet. It's not looking very nice. And can you see that smudge on the end of my nose? Yeah, it's just not looking good. It's like breaking up on the surface already. All right, so that is the 2.5 hour check-in. Not great. Right, hey you guys, I'm back. It's time for the 5 hour check-in on the makeup. I can see already that I'm seeing like redness on my nose and chin, so it's pretty worn off on my nose and chin. I think the rest of my face, it looks fine. Where it was settled in my wrinkles, it's still settled in my wrinkles. And you know, I can't say that I've been in love with how it looked all day. It's like every time I touch it, it definitely like comes off on my finger. You can see that makeup on my finger there, just like, you know, and I'm 5 hours in and it shouldn't be transferring. So it's going to transfer all over to everything. It's going to wear off a lot quicker because it doesn't seem to ever really fully dry back. Still feel the same way about the eyeshadows. I think they are terrific, really good staying power. I don't think it's making a difference between the eye that I put on the primer versus no primer. Definitely getting a big raccoon circle under this eye from this mascara, which was the Anastasia. The Rare Beauty mascara is actually looking pretty good, so I gotta say I like this one much, much better. You want to take a look at it out in daylight? Let me grab the vlogging camera and we'll go outside and you can see it in natural light. Okay, it's actually really chilly out, so I'm not gonna go out. It's only 50 degrees and I don't feel like putting a coat on, so let's just take a look at it here in natural light. I'm just standing in front of my big sliding door. You can see it's all worn off on the end of my nose and on my chin. And can you see where it's settled in my wrinkle over here? I'm not really seeing a huge difference between the primer side and the no primer side. The primer doesn't really seem to be doing that much at all. So anyway, that's what it looks like in natural light. Hi, I'm back. It's time for the 10-hour check-in on this face of makeup. And do you see what I see? Raccoon eyes again. From a distance, I'd say it looks pretty bad. The foundation is very worn off on my nose, across my cheeks, on my chin. And it's also very oily looking, especially like by the sides of my nose, and shiny. But it started feeling dry about an hour or two ago, I want to say. So my face feels really like dry and just can't wait to wash my face, basically. Okay, the foundation truly looks awful. It looks worse and drier on the side that I put on the Tatcha silk canvas. And it's sliding around worse on this side. And yeah, everything about it. My pores look bigger. It feels drier, it slid around more and wore off faster. Take a look at this hot mess here. All right, let's start with this because the smudging down here is really like, ooh, so not good. So check that out. Wow, there's a big clump of foundation right there. You can see how badly worn off it is on my nose, how my pores are really showing. It just feels so dry and crusty right through here and looks dry and crusty. And then check out the transfer and the flaking on the mascara. But look at the transfer under this, that Anastasia mascara. The flaking, the transferring, really no good. Oh, the brows still look good. That's the Huda Brow. I love that stuff. And the eyeliner is still in place. Of course, those are two eyeliners that I use all the time, and I love them too. All right, so the successes today were definitely the Armani eyeshadows. These are beautiful, and I think I actually want to get a third color, maybe a matte that is a little darker for in the crease, but gorgeous. And things that I already knew I loved, which are the two Sephora eyeliners. The Saie Sunmelt Bronzer, really like that. Can't say that I would recommend either of these two products. This one, really not good, especially for the amount of money that it costs. The Saie Foundation, not great for me. If you were interested in a Saie product, I would definitely go with the Slip Tint instead. All right, so that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. If you did, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.